The WWE bury Cody Rhodes. John Cena dethrones him. John Cena should not win the 2025 Royal Rumble match. Matt Riddle claims TNA hasn't paid him. Ronda Rousey gives birth. Alexa Bliss breaks silence after WWE's silence. Hulk Hogan on Raw's Netflix premiere was terrible. WWE's backstage reaction to Travis Scott smoking a joint on Raw. How many viewers tuned in for WWE Raw's debut on Netflix? Let's dive right in. John Cena should not win the 2025 Royal Rumble match. WWE Monday Night Raw was a massive show for the sports entertainment juggernaut this week. The Red brand debuted on Netflix, had a massive crowd in attendance, and an unbelievable audience watching on the streaming platform. To live up to the hype, Triple H booked numerous big stars for the show, ranging from legends like The Rock and The Undertaker to modern-day megastars like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Rhea Ripley. One of the biggest names to appear was John Cena. He discussed his impending retirement, with the tour kicking off on Raw and lasting until his final match ever in December. He then dropped the bombshell that he's entering the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. While this is huge, and many believe John Cena will win the big-time match, he should not be the one to do so. Let's take a look at a handful of reasons why WWE's greatest of all time actually shouldn't win the 30-man match on February 1st. Here are 3 reasons why WWE GOAT John Cena should not win the 2025 Royal Rumble match. Number 1, it would hurt the potential story of John Cena earning his way to a title match. John Cena laid out his journey perfectly on WWE Monday Night Raw's Netflix premiere. Unfortunately, the face that runs the place hasn't won a singles match in a very long time, and he is trying to fix that in his last year of wrestling. Cena even admitted that it wouldn't make sense for him to just have a title match without any wins, which is why he entered himself into the Men's Royal Rumble match to begin with. This is a story of growth and overcoming the odds. Cena needs a big win to get back on track. The only issue is, one win arguably isn't enough. Cena should have a journey to earn his way back to the top. A few weeks isn't quite enough to tell that story. One win isn't enough to get his momentum back. Instead, the WWE legend should lose in the Men's Royal Rumble match, but start to pick up wins on television, and perhaps at Saturday night's main event. This would start building momentum, with the Rumble loss being a setback, to help strengthen and extend the story. Number 2, John has already won the Royal Rumble match twice. The Royal Rumble match was first introduced all the way back in 1988. In the years since then, some of WWE's greatest superstars have won the match. This includes the likes of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Shawn Michaels, Rhea Ripley, The Undertaker, and various others. John Cena is no stranger to winning the 30-man match. He has actually managed to win the Men's Royal Rumble match on 2 separate occasions. He first won it in 2008 as a surprise entrant, but then did it again in 2013. Winning the Royal Rumble is a career highlight for many stars, and winning it twice puts Cena in rare air. With that being said, the fact that he has already won the gimmick match on 2 occasions is exactly why he shouldn't win the match in 2025. Numerous other stars have either never won the Royal Rumble match or only done so once. They need the victory far more than he does. This would be a nice addition to Cena's career, but really, it would be nothing more than that. Number 3, he is being heavily advertised for WWE Elimination Chamber. The final reason why John Cena shouldn't win the Men's Royal Rumble match has to do with WWE's next premium live event after the 2025 Royal Rumble. The company will host Elimination Chamber in Toronto in March. The marketing for this show has been primarily on John Cena's last ever Toronto appearance. WWE has emphasized this repeatedly, and so has Cena himself, perhaps even more than the Elimination Chamber match itself. Cena's image on the poster is bigger than that of Bianca Belair, CM Punk, Liv Morgan, and others. If Cena wins the 2025 Royal Rumble match, it wouldn't make sense for him to compete at or be in an Elimination Chamber match. This contradicts how he is being hyped up for the show. Cena should lose in the Royal Rumble so he can go on to potentially win the Men's Elimination Chamber match. Matt Riddle claims TNA hasn't paid him. Matt Riddle didn't hold back when discussing his TNA debut at TNA Turning Point, and he dropped a surprising claim: the company still hasn't paid him for stepping in during WrestleCade weekend. Riddle, who filled in for Trey Miguel in a 6-man tag match, shared the details during an interview with Shaq Wrestling's Shaquille Majuri. There was no call made. I was at WrestleCade, signing autographs, doing pretty well, and making pretty good money. A lot of people lined up to take a picture with the bro, Riddle explained. Tommy Dreamer and Ariel Schneerer came up to me and said Trey got into, not a horrible car accident, but not a great car accident, and he probably wasn't going to make it to the show. Despite not being under contract with TNA, Riddle decided to help out. I saw a company that was kind of in need, and I saw one of my friends, Zachary Wentz, was definitely in need. His boy was out. I've teamed up with them and teamed up with Jeff Hardy before in the past, and I've never wrestled the Hardy Boys. For me, I had never done TNA, wanted to do that. Can't really pass up an opportunity to wrestle the Hardy Boys. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the former WWE star. Riddle revealed that TNA hasn't compensated him yet. I got an extra payday, which didn't hurt the weekend. Still waiting on that. They have a 3-week thing or 2-week thing, I don't know. I kinda like my money up front. Despite the payment issue, Riddle praised TNA for their professionalism during the event and clarified that he has no long-term plans with the company. They have spoken highly of me and to me. I think it's impossible to return, but right now, my home is MLW. Luckily, I work for a company like MLW that wasn't going to crucify me for helping. Riddle, along with Kushida and Zachary Wentz, ended up losing to Ace Austin and the Hardys in a memorable match. Riddle's TNA debut might have been a spur-of-the-moment decision to help out friends, but his claim about not being paid raises eyebrows about the company's business practices. Whether it's a simple delay or something more, this story adds another chapter to the ongoing saga of TNA's reputation behind the scenes. For now, Riddle seems content to move forward, but you can bet he won't let this slide quietly. What are your thoughts on Matt Riddle's comments about TNA? Should the company have resolved this sooner, or is Riddle being too harsh? Ronda Rousey gives birth. Ronda Rousey is one of the greatest female athletes in combat sports history. She made an announcement on social media today on a joyous occasion for her family. Ronda Rousey first gained traction due to her time in UFC. She became famous for her dominance in the octagon, where she would finish her opponents within minutes, and sometimes even within seconds. She was one of the most dominant champions of the sport during her time. After a successful career in the UFC, she moved over to WWE, where her dominance continued. She won the Women's World title on 3 occasions before leaving the company in 2023 and retiring. Following her exit from the Stamford-based promotion, she published her autobiography where she criticized her time with WWE and Vince McMahon. Ronda is currently enjoying family time along with her husband and fellow MMA fighter Travis Brown. The couple welcomed their first child in 2021. On July 25, 2024, the former UFC fighter announced that she was pregnant with their second child. Rousey took to her Instagram account today to announce the birth of the couple's second child, Liko Ula Pawoma Hinakaipiha Brown. She shared a clip and a few photographs along with the following caption. Our little girl came into this world during a windstorm into a city on fire. So grateful she made it safe and sound. Likaula Pawoma Hinakaipiha Brown. Liv Morgan has developed her character to where she is one of the top female stars on the main roster at present. She has won the Women's World Championship a couple of times now and has accomplished a lot since arriving in the Stamford-based promotion. Looking back on her journey, it's amazing to see how far she has come in her WWE career. From cashing in on Ronda Rousey and winning her first Women's World title to her most recent run as the champion, Liv Morgan has more than proved that she can handle herself in the ring. During a recent interview on the Ringer Wrestling Show, Liv Morgan recalled the night she won the SmackDown Women's Championship from Rousey. She said that spent quite a bit of time celebrating her win with the fans. When I cashed in on Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank and became SmackDown Women's Champion, got my first women's title, you guys saw a minute and a half of that celebration. I was out there for 5 minutes, and the whole time, they were so happy for me. They kept cheering for me, and I'm just standing in the ring looking at my title. They're on their feet just cheering for me, Liv Morgan said. Alexa Bliss breaks silence after WWE's silence. The WWE Universe is patiently waiting for Alexa Bliss's return. Recently, the goddess came out with an update, but before fans get too excited, it has to do with a major non-WWE announcement. In the midst of her rumored and expected return to the company, Bliss has been focusing on work outside of the squared circle. In particular, she has delved into the world of voice acting and landed a major role in a popular upcoming anime. The anime is titled Sakamoto Days and is scheduled to premiere on January 11th, 2025. It follows the story of a hitman who falls in love and abandons his life of crime to start a family. In the series, Bliss has voiced the character of Obiguro, an assassin. On X, Alexa Bliss shared a message regarding her new role, expressing how honored she feels to be voicing the character and how excited she was for the show. Such an honor to voice Obiguro in Sakamoto Days. Can't wait for this, wrote Alexa Bliss. It will be fun to hear the 33-year-old's rendition of the character. Several fans will be tuning in to watch her performance. Alexa Bliss's role in Sakamoto Days certainly will be something to see, but she isn't the first WWE star to land a voice acting role. It is a known fact that over the years, several wrestlers have ventured into acting, including the voice acting industry. Most notably, The Rock and John Cena have left their marks on the business. John Cena voiced Baron Draxum in the 2018 Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. The Rock, on the other hand, showcased his voice acting abilities by portraying Maui in the highly successful film franchise Moana. Mick Foley, recognized for his various personas, dabbled in voice acting by taking on the character the Boulder in the acclaimed series Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's always great to see WWE superstars expanding their horizons. Hopefully, more stars will follow Bliss and take a crack at voice acting. Hulk Hogan on Raw's Netflix premiere was terrible. Hulk Hogan made his massive appearance on WWE Raw's Netflix premiere. However, the Hall of Famer was met with a chorus of boos from the crowd. Comedian Gabriel "Fluffy" Iglesias recently commented on the incident. On the January 6, 2025 edition of the Red Brands show, Hogan came out with his iconic Real American persona alongside Jimmy Hart. He attempted to engage the crowd and promote his new beer brand, but was met with a chorus of boos instead of the expected cheers. The negative reaction from the audience has fueled speculation about the future of the Hulkster's appearances in the Stamford-based promotion. Meanwhile, speaking on the Rich Eisen show, Gabriel Iglesias, who was in attendance at the Intuit Dome, discussed the 71-year-old legend being booed on this week's Raw. The 48-year-old comedian criticized WWE's decision to feature Hulk Hogan on the Red Brand's Netflix premiere. Iglesias found the audience's negative reaction to Hogan painful to witness, attributing it to the veteran's recent political affiliations. "It was painful watching Hulk Hogan get booed. I was like, wow, from great to hate. That was ugly." At the same time, WWE should have known better. You know that Hulk Hogan has been out there on this political train trying to sell his beer, and on the Donald Trump train. You take somebody like that and you put them in a blue state in LA? What else was going to happen? That might be the reaction, he said. The Immortal's recent return to Monday Night Raw garnered significant attention from the wrestling world. Among many others, Mark Henry also commented on the 71-year-old legend receiving heavy boos from the crowd. In an interview with TMZ, the world's strongest man stated that Hulk Hogan never took responsibility for his past mistakes and expected the controversy to fade away. He never wanted to go forward and fix it. That's what happens when you think everything is going to go away. It's not going to go away, Mark Henry said. Only time will tell if the Hulkster will make more future appearances in WWE following the negative reaction he received this past Monday. WWE's backstage reaction to Travis Scott smoking a joint on Raw. Travis Scott seemingly set a new precedent when he lit up a joint and smoked it live on Raw while Jey Uso made his entrance. A new report has detailed WWE's backstage reaction to the unscripted moment and how it could affect things going forward. On WrestleVotes Radio on Backstage Pass, Joey Votes and TC briefly touched upon the incident on the Raw on Netflix premiere, where Jey Uso was accompanied by rap megastar Travis Scott for his entrance. While Jey Uso made his way out, Scott was visibly seen smoking a joint, a moment that took many by surprise. But as it turns out, it wasn't just fans who were surprised. Joey Votes stated that even people backstage in WWE were taken by surprise by Travis Scott smoking a joint. However, there's no heat whatsoever on him, and it isn't going to affect their future plans with him. It seems like WWE has big plans to collaborate with the megastar in the future, and the enthusiasm seems to be mutual on his side. It was also said by Joey Votes that people backstage have an understanding that big celebrities can sometimes just do what they want without facing any real repercussions. But it seems like it was taken in a lighthearted way backstage. There was an immediate sense of anticipation online over what Triple H had to say about a joint being lit up live on Monday Night Raw, an unprecedented move. In a hilarious response, Triple H thanked Jey Uso for just saying no to Travis Scott and not partaking in the joint that was being consumed. Triple H joked that it could have gone differently for Jey Uso if he shared that joint. Jey Uso wound up winning his first match of 2025 against his longtime rival Drew McIntyre. The reaction that Triple H had seemingly corroborates the story on WrestleVotes Radio this week. The Travis Scott WWE partnership seems to be a positive one, and one that both sides intend to continue. Perhaps WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas will be where we see the rap star in WWE again. How many viewers tuned in for WWE Raw's debut on Netflix? WWE Raw made its glamorous and illustrious debut on Netflix this past Monday. The show had some banger matches, returning legends along with all the ingredients for the once-in-a-lifetime episode. WWE Raw on Netflix achieved the highest arena gate in the company's history. However, the show created another form of history too. The company had a very successful start on the platform regarding viewers. The show garnered 4.9 million views, beating the viewership of any WWE Raw episode in the past 5 years. It consisted of both live and non-live views. The result was calculated by taking the hours of the show watched and dividing it by the runtime. These views don't include the ones of big WWE markets like France, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, the Philippines, and South Korea. Stephanie McMahon took to Twitter to reveal WWE Raw dethroned the famous Squid Game show on the #1 spot at the top list of Netflix. The company generated 223 million views on social media and became the highest-grossing non-premium live event. This week's WWE Raw debut on Netflix indicates that the company has made a brilliant move. With one deal sealed with the streaming giant, Chief Content Officer Triple H wants to seal another deal with the company. Speaking to SI Media, the Chief Content Officer claimed he would also like Netflix to acquire streaming rights for their premium live events. WWE's PLEs are currently with Peacock, and the deal expires in 2026. The King of Kings hopes Netflix will acquire that too. Call Netflix and push for them when the PLE deal comes up, who confirmed that the deal with Peacock will expire around March 2026. On the current deal for PLEs, this WrestleMania coming up in Las Vegas will be our last WrestleMania on that existing deal. At some point this year, we will obviously get into that deal with Peacock, who we love, and obviously they'll get a lot of consideration from us as the existing partner. But I'd like to think that if we're successful in the way we think we will be, that Netflix will be very interested. Next week's Raw on Netflix will see some banger matches. We will see the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion crowned between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria. Chad Gable will face a mystery opponent, and Finn Balor will face Damian Priest. The WWE bury Cody Rhodes. John Cena dethrones him. Cody Rhodes had a small involvement during Raw's debut on Netflix. This left a veteran furious. Stevie Richards is the latest to comment on Cody Rhodes' involvement on Raw. The American Nightmare has been the face of the company ever since he won the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40. Despite being the top champion, Cody Rhodes didn't have a match on Raw's debut on Netflix. Instead, he was seated in the front row while The Rock addressed the crowd. The final boss even hugged him. Cody was then moved to the back, only to make his entrance and attack Kevin Owens after the latter interfered in Roman Reigns' match. Speaking on the Stevie Richards show, the WWE veteran was furious over how Cody Rhodes was booked on Raw. He said it looked like The Rock was granting a wish to a sick kid. Richards also voiced his disapproval over full-time roster members sitting in the crowd. He questioned why Cody was in the crowd and called it a setup segment so that the final boss could hug and address him. I was like, this looks like The Rock granting a wish to a sick kid live on Raw. I think everybody who's a full-time roster member should not ever sit in the crowd unless Cody was out there for the entire night, which also could be distracting for the matches to get into the ring to fight Kevin Owens. But they had him out there, and then they shuffled him to the back empty seats once again, as you said, to have his music hit. Why were you even in the crowd to begin with? That just looked like a setup segment. Stevie Richards further suggested they could have held a contest where the winner would sit next to the WWE champion. Then, Kevin Owens could have drawn him out of the crowd for a fight, which would have gotten a better response. If you're going to have him out there all night greeting fans, signing, maybe you attach it to this person won a contest so where we can sit in the fancy cinema chairs and watch the show with the WWE champion. Okay, I got that, but then Kevin Owens can do something to draw Cody out to join the fight. I think that would have gotten an even better response. There was no rhyme or reason for the talent to be out there except they were told to sit out there as marks, especially your undisputed WWE champion. John Cena also made a surprise appearance during Raw's premiere on Netflix to kick off his farewell tour. He announced that he would participate in the Royal Rumble match and even teased winning his 17th world title. Since then, fans have been fantasy booking who Cena could defeat to win his 17th world title. On the Coach and Bro show, Jonathan Coachman suggested that John Cena could dethrone Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. To me, you have a couple of matches where he says, hey, I gotta get the ring rust off, then you put him on a pay-per-view, and then you spend 2 months building up to a world championship match. God, I hope it's not against Gunther, but it could be. I think it's gonna be Cody Rhodes, to be honest with you. So, that would be 3, he said. It will be interesting to see if John Cena will win his 17th world title on his farewell tour.